welcome back to another episode of 5 Minutes with Dr. A, the series where we break down various dental topics and make them much easier to understand. So we spoke about veneers a couple of weeks ago, and today is a continuation of that as we break down the topic of veneers into actual cases. We're going to talk about one particular case and start off the journey with veneers. So this particular patient presented to us just after the first lockdown actually, wanting a bit more of a confident smile and also to make sure that the teeth and the gums are a lot healthier as well. So with this particular case, after assessing and looking at all the options, there were potentially other alternatives, and we've recognised that and we know that. But every single person has their own individual need, and after a discussion, finding out exactly what result they're looking for, it was deemed that actually straightening wasn't the most viable option in this particular case. And also bonding wasn't something that was particularly attractive in this particular case as well. We can look at the before photos and see why we decided to go for veneers. So we've got some gum recession. We dealt with the gum recession initially. We got the gums a bit healthier and we've moved on since that stage to the cosmetic aspect. We could have aligned the teeth. We could have bonded up the teeth and made the areas a bit bulkier. But actually, having looked at the options, we were going, even if we went down the route of bonding, we were going to end up at the stage of looking at something more permanent at some point in the future. So we decided to skip past all of those and go down the route of veneers straight away. Number one, to make the smile more balanced, to make the smile fit in better with the contours of her smile design, and also the contents of the actual smile itself and around the lips. We can see we've got a couple of gaps at the moment where we've got recession, but at the same time, we've also got areas that allow us to increase the sizes of the teeth to make them blend in much nicer into the smile zone that we've got. And that's exactly what we did. So we planned this with the technician and we actually achieved the wax up to allow us to expand the teeth, make them bigger to close the spaces, but also widen the smile as well. And we can see that actually, as we look through the various footage of the treatment in the background as it was ongoing, this was done in 2 stages. So stage number 1 was to get the patient in and design it and reduce the teeth where needed, polish in between, and actually get them to a state where we can get some temporary veneers in there to allow us to see a mock-up of what the real ones would look like. Once we looked at the mock-up, once we designed it, once we reviewed it a couple of weeks later and we test drove it, we then had the ability to proceed on to the finals. We were confident, the patient loved them, and we had the ability to then actually take that decision. We then removed the temporaries, did the final refinements, and then brought the patient back in to fit the final veneers. In this particular case, the entire case from start to finish in terms of the veneer section took about a month in total. Realistically, we had a whitening phase in between, and that's something we did at the very beginning before delving into this, and we decided in this case to get on the route of enlightened whitening. If we zoom into the actual smile, we can see the naturalness of the actual smile itself and see how the teeth actually blend in, number one, to the colour, how the shape blends in better, and also how the gums generally look much nicer around the margins and the edges, just simply because we've allowed the contours to get much better contoured with the smile so that it looks so much more natural. We wanted to go for a natural appearance in this case, and that's exactly what we've achieved, and we've got a lovely smiley patient at the very end. That's the end of today's show. We'll go on to the next veneers one next time when we find another case to talk about and discuss, which will have some more content to add to it. Please follow and subscribe if you've got any questions about your own teeth or anyone's teeth in general that you'd like to know more information about or want to get my personal opinion on in terms of options. Please drop me a message and I'll be more than happy to look into it, and hopefully speak to you soon.